today. I was out waving, and it's funny what happens. I have met so many different people, and this one lady, she came and did a U-turn right in the street. So I've just had all kinds of interesting conversations, and I'm loving that. And what I want to do is be someone that really represents fairness and also forward thinking for this district. And I think those would be two ways to describe the way I would represent the citizens of this area. I am a past county tourism manager and city tourism manager. Have worked in tourism pretty much my entire career for about 24 years, and I'm a mom and live in Havre de Grace and have a family son who's 11, goes to school in Havre de Grace. So I'm very concerned about schools and supporting our teachers and really making our schools number one again, as they should, and that includes supporting our teachers and making our schools safe and giving our teachers pencils and not guns. And will be very much an advocate again for business and small business, making sure that those folks don't fall through the cracks, and mental health and wellness is a very important part of my platform, and making sure that community has an advocate, and someone that's from Cambridge, Maryland, and is a 15-year resident of Havre de Grace. I am a strong advocate also for the Chesapeake Bay, and a whole lot of other things. If you want to go to my website, I just don't want to take up any more floor time. Thank you. I think we're going to give them all a run for their money this year.
No, we're going to win. We're going to give them just a fun. We're going to win.
That reminded me, reminded me of something. When I was a kid, we used to get in fights all the time, right? And you wouldn't know what to think of me, but that's something we just kind of like to do every summer. We throw the hand, right? And so we really didn't care if we won, if we lost. But one thing you had to do was show up. And if you didn't show up, you were in big problems. And so hopefully that's what we can do, right?
Yeah.
In November, show up, and at the end of the day, let them know they were in a fight.
Yes. Well, actually, can I have my wife speak? Because last time I took her whole speech and she didn't have anything.
I won't say much, so I'll let Bud have a few words. Donna Hines. I'm running for Maryland State Senate, District 7.
Tell us about your hat.
Oh, my hat. That's my blue wave hat.
That's right.
Vintage blue. My area is the same as Gordon's pretty much. North, south, east, west, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere. It's a big district. First thing I'd like to say, you don't arm a teacher with a gun. You arm a teacher with a raise.
Yes.
And all necessary resources you can possibly give them to do the job they need to do.
There you go.
That's right. That's number one. Number two, I'm with everybody on this environment. In fact, it's probably one of 3 reasons why I decided to put my name in the hat on the very last day, at the very last hour. I don't get it. I don't get this change of environment policy that's coming our way. It scares me. It's frightening. I love the Chesapeake Bay. I have all kinds of T-shirts and everything surrounding our waters. So that's the second reason I'm running. Basically, I want what everybody here wants, what everybody has just stood up and said. My problem is every Democrat problem here. We have to get this vote out. I have already been interviewed by these groups that may or may not give you money, and they asked me if I knew what amount of resources did I need to do this race. Well, I said I had sort of been told by a number of people that technically, to be taken serious, I need $100,000. So I said to them, because it was a Democratic committee, I don't need $100,000. I need 100,000 votes.
And we really only have a couple minutes left, so we gotta really be brief. We have Bud Hines.
Well, technically, they let us in late, so they'll get it when
Hi, I'm Bud Hines. I'm running for County Council President. Donna covered a lot. The main reason why I'm running is Donna and I live right behind Jones Subaru. And I guess 5 years ago, they erected stadium lighting. And stadium lighting was the equivalent of 3 baseball parks. And so what we tried to do, what Donna tried to do, is get all our neighbors together to fight. And no one would fight. Finally, we got 2 other neighbors to join us in a battle against Baltimore Gas and Electric, Jones Subaru, and Harford County zoning. And it cost us $60,000, 3 years of litigation, and no one would help us. So Donna reached out to Joe Woods. The reason I'm running is I wanted Joe Woods' spot, and I waited too long and Susanna was in there. But what I saw that the county doesn't come to your help. If you're not part of the old boy network, if you don't have, and by the way, as you go through and look at your competitors, do me a favor and take a look at the what cars they're driving. Does it say Jones? Because they're being financed by somebody. And I guarantee you, on the Republican side, they have a lot of funding. So the reason I'm running is I want to make sure that everyone's zoning rights are heard. And I want to make sure these discussions aren't held behind closed doors, which they are. I mean, recently we just had a situation, we had 50, how many votes did we have?
Over 50.
Or 500 votes for sewage coming into our neighborhood. All of a sudden there's a new housing development on Harford Road. Guess what? They're going to get the sewage, but not us. No one announced to us that we weren't getting that. So long story short, this has got to be a level playing field for everyone. In addition, I'll say that I've started going to council meetings since I'm running. I better find out what's going on. And I listen to what's happening. We had a lady who came in for 2 meetings. She was from Edgewood. She was complaining because people in Edgewood who didn't have transportation, it took them 3 hours to get to Harford Community College. Well, when I listen to people speak in front of the committee, no one's encouraged to say, hey, thank you. You know what? It takes a lot of courage for an average citizen to get up and speak. And just to say anything, you should encourage them. You should congratulate them and thank them for contributing instead of having stone silence. And then you should have some follow-up, and I don't see that. This poor lady had to come 2 times, and I'm not sure if she was even heard. So, you know, if you are not a white good old boy, you're probably not going to be heard in that county council. And even though I'm white and I'm an old guy, I will answer and make sure everybody's.
I'm Republican to that.
What's that?
I'm Republican to that.
So the long story short, one of the things the county executive is supposed to be able to do is he's supposed to be able to reach across the aisle, get people together. So I started as a meter reader at Baltimore Gas and Electric. I got into technology. I worked my way up to being a vice president at ADP and at Broadridge in charge of technology. I've led multiple cross-functional teams, so I think I'm capable of bringing people together. I'm very open-minded, and I'll make sure that all of your views are heard. Thank you.
Papadopoulos.
Well, they finally took them down, but if you go by, they're still pretty bad.
Is it Papadopoulos, is it the Puopolo?
Puopolo. So I don't want to take thank you. I don't want to take up too much time because I know we're running low. So I'm just going to tell you why I'm running. My name is Stephen Puopolo. I'm running for the Harford County Democratic Central Committee. My biggest concern is education, but the biggest thing has been in terms of lack of support for the teacher. My wife was a school teacher. I have a lot of friends who are school teachers. And I can tell you the biggest complaint that I've heard from them is they have not gotten any support from the Democratic Party in Harford County. And as a matter of fact, I was told that of all the counties in Maryland, Harford is among the worst in terms of supporting teachers. So I want to do kind of like not an exercise, but I want everybody to put your hand up for a second. Recently, the Teachers Union of Harford County has decided to endorse Dr. Quintensi for president of the county council, a Republican. The biggest reason why, he's not part of a political machine. Keep your hand up. He's not part of the political machine. Recently, the Harford County Teachers Union have endorsed Barry Glassman. Because once again, they said he's not part of the political machine, and not only that, but teachers have also lately have gotten their steps increased. But what they don't say among the parties is that part of the reason why the teachers have gotten their increase is because teachers are leaving Harford County. I can count 5 friends of mine who left Harford County to go to Chester County, Baltimore County, Baltimore City. Even one of them went as far as Anne Arundel County. Keep your hands up.
That's hard. Some of my people are a little elders.
Now, I want you guys to look across the room. The teachers union are putting their hands up because they feel that the Democratic Party are not doing anything to help them. And you're seeing across the country in 3 states, teachers are striking to get better help. Unfortunately, in this state, it's against the law for teachers to strike. That is part of the bargaining agreement they came to with the state in the 70s. They lost the right to strike. When you have teachers unions that are saying that Harford County is among the worst in support by the Democratic Party, that's the problem.
It's because the Republicans are in control, it's not the Democrats. Republicans control everything, how can you blame the Democrats?
That's what I want to run for. That's what I want on the Democratic Central Committee. We need to get the support of the teachers union back. We have got to make changes. We have got to get in, we've got to convince teachers, both Democrats and Republicans, that the Democrats are for the teachers and are for, not only for the teachers, but also for the students. We need to help them get updated textbooks. We need to make sure that they're safe. We need to make sure that we are listening to them. And that's the biggest thing. Teachers are saying they're not being heard by the Democratic Party, and the fact that teachers unions have already voiced their support for county executive and the president of the county council, both Republicans. And the biggest thing I've heard from the certain folks from the Democratic Central Committee is why are they giving the support to the Republicans? And the only thing I can say is, if the Democratic Party for the past years have not done what they felt is any support, why shouldn't they? I want to change that. And I'm also looking not just for the next 4 years. I'm talking about 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We need to look long term. We cannot stay on top of the short term. We cannot keep putting a Band-Aid on stuff. And also, don't forget this. For the longest time, Harford County was among the top 3 counties in terms of education for a long time. It's not anymore. Year by year, it is losing the ranking because they're losing teachers. And I will say that Bel Air Middle School, There's a school that just got built right down Emerson Road, Paterson Middle and High School. Guess what? Battle Middle School is almost at 120% capacity. There's not a teacher at that school that's not in non-special ed that has more than 35 students. How about that? So anyway, that is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to change that, and hopefully I'll get to vote and we can fix that. Thank you.
We honestly only have 2 minutes. We're about to throw us out, Jowanda.
She's running for Register of Wills and the Democratic Central Committee. And she's a good friend. And she gets me in shape. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, I'm here today mainly in support of the candidates Sarahia and Carlos. And so for my candidacy, I'm running for the Register of Wills and for the Democratic Central Committee. I have been in the political arena for many, many years. I was there as a child with my parents. And I am a Democrat, I've been a Democrat, and I'm going to stay with the Democrats whether I'm happy in the situation or not. I believe it's staying where you are and making a change. And that's what I'm doing, is digging in. I'm running for Register of Wills. It's been a position that has been governed by and taken over by the Republican Party for 28 years. The same family. So it's being treated not only as a Republican entitlement, but it's also being treated as a family legacy. So we want to break that cycle.
Yes.
We want the community to know what the Register of Wills does. We want people to know what they offer. We want to bring that office into the community with workshops. We're already going to do that on the campaign trail, do some workshops about what the Register of Wills does and what it means to the community, because it's not just for people with estates and things like that. It's for the everyday person and what you need to do. So that's what I'm doing. I'm running for the party. I'm running for the people.
Is anybody else that hasn't been acknowledged? Okay, everybody's been acknowledged. I did have like a thing that I wanted to do, but obviously time's running quick. So if you guys have time to go outside and do like a 3-question, and when I say it's easy 3-question interview, I'd appreciate it. It's gonna be for my little promo reel. Do you want to say anything about your candidacy?
They're just, well, most of, you look online and you can see my position. It's important that our judicial system be proactive. For so long, we've gone the other way, and we just reacted instead of proactive. And everybody knows that. An ounce of prevention is what? And so we don't practice that. We don't practice that with the opioid epidemic. We don't practice that with safety in schools, because they're behind on that issue. And so we need to be proactive. We need to be proactive as far as diversity and hiring. And so I emphasize those as I run for office. Now, there's a couple things. We'd like to take a group picture of anybody who wants to be in a group picture, hopefully outside or somewhere, and after we let out. And also, this isn't the last event that we're going to have, right? And so we want to have bigger, better, more enthusiasm, even more enthusiasm as we go in the future. Our next one, we're planning for either the, I think the Holiday Inn or the Comfort Inn. And so it's going to be better, it's going to be bigger. Bring your friends, bring some excitement, and bring some energy, and we'll just turn that house out, right?
Right.
And so again, we like to thank, oh wait, we got someone, I knew we had someone else. And once again, we like to just take care of some administrative things. We'd like to thank the wait staff for helping us. We really appreciate that. They did a great job, very patient with us. And we got one candidate. Please come on.
Bridgette.
Thank everybody. For those who can stay, who can take a group picture, we'd appreciate it. For those who can participate in Serena's questionnaire, she'd appreciate that. So again, once again, a round of applause for yourself. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
We have some chicken wings in here and other stuff. We get rid of these or go whatever we want.
Okay, so you like it. Oh my God.
Actually, you had more time to explain why